And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classic.
Time. I know. I'm back. Crazy. It's been a minute since I made an inbox video, or recent finds, or I guess technically these are recent grabs because most of these come out of the record store I work in. A lot of them are freebies. Some of them obviously didn't come out of there, but I get a lot of freebies working in the store. Nothing too expensive, but with the Christmas period coming up, my bosses get a bit more generous around this time of year. So, hey, let's kick things off with the 12-inch singles. I know some people maybe aren't necessarily fans of 12-inch singles, but I'm going to show them anyway. Mandra. This is Spirit's Groove and Freakin's Fine, double A-side 12-inch. And if you don't know Mandra by the music, by name, you might know them if you're a hip-hop fan, because famously they've been sampled quite a bit by like Dr. Dre and Q-Tip and people like that. So yeah, proper full-on disco, more electronic disco, kind of like what's playing in the background. Zap, but yeah, this is Mandra with Spirit's Groove and Freakin's Fine from 1979. American pressing, so had to pick that one out. Usher, Burn. Been really getting back into my 2000s R&B because this is the music I kind of grew up with. That was being played on the radio a lot, so yeah, picking up a lot of these 12-inch singles, so had to pick up Burn by Usher. Shaka Khan, Love You All My Lifetime. This is one of her songs from the 90s, 92 to be exact. I got it for the album version of the song. I don't know any of the remixes on here, but nice to try and delve into the 90s soul a little bit more now as well. So nice to pick that one up. A house 12-inch. I don't pick up a lot of house music, but this is kind of a classic tune I've been looking for a while. This is Armand Van Helden, You Don't Know Me. Quite a big house tune from back in the 90s. One of the few that I actually like play out a lot, so had to throw that in there. I love as well how it's a white label, but it says on there, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, For the Ladies. Very nice. It is backed with Psychic Bounty Killers 2, but I don't know that song as well. I picked it up just for this one. So yeah, had to grab that one. Next up, Tina Turner, Better Be Good to Me. I do like a bit of Tina Turner, not gonna lie. Not my favourite song from her, but maybe the first one I heard from her, which kind of, you know, got me into her music a bit more. Obviously has the extended version, and it's backed with When I Was Young, so I have to grab it for that. And then Commodores, Night Shift. Not the best Commodores track, but again, one that I don't mind this track. I know people aren't necessarily a fan of Commodores after Lionel Richie left, but this is one of the better songs that they did after Lionel left the group. It's backed with I Keep Running, which obviously ain't that great, but post Lionel Night Shift, the Night Shift album's probably my favorite post Lionel album anyway, so had to pick that one up on 12-inch, because I think I have it on 7 but not on 12-inch. So yeah, nice to pick that up. And next up, this is more of an EP than a 12-inch, but it's Motoring Roots by Jazz Jamaica. And the only reason I picked up this is because it's got 3 covers of Stevie Wonder songs. Now this is reggae, so it's got I Was Made to Love Her, Signed, Sealed, Delivered, and My Sherry Amore, all reggae versions of the songs. If you don't know these versions, check them out, because if you like reggae, you might not like them, but if you're a Stevie Wonder fan like me, and you know, not as big a Stevie fan as me, because everything with Stevie's name on it, I have to have it. But yeah, this is a very nice thing for me to grab. Very different, very unique, so I had to add that to my collection. Next up, a compilation. Oh, that's it for 12 singles, by the way. So we're going to move on to a compilation. I don't pick up too many compilations because the compilations here in Britain, they have, well, this one in particular has 10 tracks each side, but this is Hip House, with loads of electro hip-hop songs. So it's got Rob Bass, Eazy-E, Get on the Dance Floor, Milli Vanilli, Go You Know It's True, Adiva, Respect, Jungle Brothers, Straight Out of the Jungle, Twist and Shout by Salt and Pepper, Lakim Shabazz, Getting Fierce. Yeah, some great songs on there. It's just a shame that it's not a compilation you can really play out for DJing because there are 10 tracks each side. But it's on the Stylus music label. So yeah, I mean, I'll pick up a compilation like this when it's for free, but outside of these compilations, I don't pick them up too much nowadays. But I have a couple like this, so I don't mind them. They're alright for me, I guess. Just to have the songs I don't have. Alright, on to the actual albums here, and I don't know where to start. Actually, I think I do. Yeah, going back to the Stevie Wonder thing. Like I said, anything with Stevie's name on it, I'm picking it up. And that's why I picked up Non-Stop by Julio Iglesias. If we don't get glare, I apologize for that. There's a song on this album called My Love, and that features Stevie Wonder. And that's really the only reason I had this. It was chucked free at work, like I said. But yeah, Stevie Wonder features on the song My Love. This is from 1988. I don't know this album all that well. Original Inner Sleeve. I haven't listened to this at all, but it's on the red CBS label there. But yeah, anything with Stevie featured or listed as a songwriter or anything, I'll pick it up. So that's why Julio Iglesias, the only reason I really picked this up. But maybe it'll make a new fan out of Julio Iglesias. Make a new fan out of me for Julio Iglesias, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll probably get back to you guys on this one. But yeah, this one really only picked it up for the song My Love, which features Stevie Wonder. Know nothing else about that album or that artist. I just know you see him everywhere. Cheap. What next? I really don't know where to go here. We'll just go through the pile, I guess. Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra. I have another Steve Miller Band album. I have their album Sailor. But this one I picked up just for the song Abracadabra, which of course we all know as a big track for them in the 80s, especially out here in the UK. Abracadabra was played on the radio, on all the 80s radio stations constantly, so I had to pick this up. It has the original inner sleeve in it, if it's the right way around, and of course it is on the Mercury, the blue Mercury label. So yeah, picked it up for the one track. I'm not a huge fan of the Steve Miller Band, but there's a couple songs here and there that I like, so I'll just grab those albums as I see them. This one though, I like the song Abracadabra, so I grabbed that one. Next up, where are we going from here? Yeah, some of these aren't freebies. Some of these I have genuinely had to pick out and you know, come out of wages, but there's some freebies here. Yeah, where do we go next? This album, The Reflections. I should probably take all of these out of sleeves before I make these videos. Yeah, The Reflections. Love on Delivery. If you don't know these guys, I don't blame you, because they're not very well known. If you like that Philadelphia soul type of sound, so Teddy Pendergrass or Billy Paul or the OJs, you'll kind of like these guys. They're not on the Philadelphia label. They're actually on Capitol. But as you guys know, I compulsively collect anything that's on that label, the Philadelphia International Records label, because I know anything will be good. And it's got, these guys have a very similar sound to what's put out on that label. So if you like OJ, they're very reminiscent of the OJs on this album. So I decided to pick this up and work it up, because it was, I mean, it really clicked with me, the 2 tracks that I listened to off of it. So yeah, enjoyed that one. This next one did not come out of the shop I work in. This one actually came out of HMV. Yes, I still buy from HMV, but only when they have stuff like really cheap. And this is an album I've been meaning to add to the collection for a while. And I finally got around to it because I think they had it for like $12.99, something crazy like that. It was like ridiculously cheap, cheaper than I've seen it anywhere else. And that's, yeah, Greta Van Fleet, Anthem of the Peaceful Army. Obviously there's a few tracks on here I like. I'm not too familiar with their stuff yet, but as I have been a part of the VC, I've seen a few people show this. Brad from H2 Vinyl, he actually showed this, and it reminded me to pick this up, and literally like a couple of weeks later I found a copy really cheap. It's got When the Curtain Falls and You're the One of the 2 tracks on this album I know. But what's interesting about this pressing, the UK pressing, is there is actually a misspelling of peaceful on the back. It's missing the second E. I think they all come like this here in the UK, so I don't know if it's really that exciting, but this is an album that if I had discovered it last year, or if I had, obviously I knew about Greta Van Fleet last year, but if I had known about this album, it probably would have made my top 10 of the year. I love this. I love the custom label on there as well. They are on the Republic label. Yeah, so happy to finally pick up some Greta Van Fleet and add their, I guess, is this technically their debut? Because I think the one before this is a double EP technically. So this could be their debut, but yeah, I love the cover. Anything to do with like space or like supernatural type stuff, I'm for it. So the cover alone interested me. Actually, you might get a better look at it from the back there, but yeah, very nice stuff. Enjoy some Greta Van Fleet. Play them a lot at work as well, so of course I had to pick them up on vinyl finally, add their album to the collection. And yeah, if you don't know Greta Van Fleet, they get slated a lot for sounding like Led Zeppelin, although while they are heavily influenced by Led Zeppelin, they also have influences from like Joni Mitchell and Cat Stevens and people like that, so it's not just Led Zeppelin. Next up, I'm going through, I'm looking at what else I have. There's one more thing in here I had to work off at my record store, and all the rest of them are freebies. So I'll show you the one I had to work off. But this one, you'll understand when you see it why I wanted to work this one off. And that's because this is Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers with Thermo. It's a compilation, but it's a nice compilation. And the reason I picked this one up is because it actually features Freddie Hubbard and Wayne Shorter. And if you are a returning viewer to the channel, I've talked about Wayne Shorter before, how I love his work. Even the work he did with Weather Report, I think is stunning. This is on a label I'm not too familiar with, on the Milestone label. If you guys know that label or anything about that label, definitely let me know, because I'd be interested. But yeah, this is a compilation from 1973. I really dug this. I know Art Blakey's stuff a little bit through Tunes from the Man Cave. He shows a lot of jazz on there. Art Blakey, I've come to really like his stuff. I've been delving into his catalogue a little bit, and for this to be the first Art Blakey album that I own, or compilation that I own, I'm not too upset because this is a good one. Yeah, there's the track listing there. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. I didn't recognize any of the tracks, but I liked every single song on here, so yeah, definitely a nice album to pick up. I believe this is an American pressing of this. And US pressings, I am a sucker for US pressings. Japanese pressings as well, but let's face it, I only really have one proper Japanese pressing in the collection. But yeah, Art Blakey's Fermo. Happy, so happy to add this one to the collection, because I always need more jazz. I'm always complaining about the amount of jazz in my collection, so there's that one. And while I'm on the topic of adding stuff to the collection, soundtracks is another one I constantly try and work on, and you guys know this if you're a returning viewer. But all the rest of these are freebies, because my bosses like doing favors for me, even though they don't have to, but they love it. So the first soundtrack I got as a freebie is the soundtrack to Dollars by the man himself, Quincy Jones. This is quite a rare soundtrack. If you know, then you know. American issue of this, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is a German pressing, excuse me. German pressing from 1972. I think it's original, I'm not too sure. It's on Reprise anyway, or Reprise. I'm going to say Reprise, because that's what I say anyway. Yeah, Reprise label. Quincy Jones, the soundtrack to Dollars. Features Little Richard, Roberta Flack, Doug Kershaw, Don Elliott on all the vocals. And if you are a hip-hop fan, you'll know the song Kitty with the Bent Frame, which was famously sampled by Mobb Deep in Shook Ones Part 2. Yeah, give that track a listen, because I guarantee you'll recognize it. Yeah, finally so glad to own this. I've been looking for a copy of this for such a long time, and I finally own it. And yeah, there it is, Dollars by Quincy Jones. Never seen the movie, mind, but love the soundtrack. So maybe I'll have to track down a copy of the movie and watch it, but just know I love the soundtrack. Just because of the Mobb Deep sample, but ever since then I've been hooked on finding that. So there's that one. And the other soundtrack I picked up, which, believe it or not, is a complete 180 from Dollars. But for those of you who don't know, basically my whole childhood was developed around Disney. Anything Disney, I was hooked. And so any of the Disney movies I enjoyed listening to. And so when this came through, my bosses hooked me up with it, because these soundtracks tend to stick around a while, because no one really asks for Disney soundtracks that often, especially of the older movies. The ones if we do get asked for them, is of the newer movies, which I don't mind in some of the newer movies, but for the older films, like the ones from the 40s, you know, especially Fantasia, the soundtrack, had to grab it. American pressing, but I think it only came out in America, if I'm not mistaken, and it didn't come out on vinyl till the 80s, because I think originally the movie came out in the 40s, I believe. When did it come out? I think it says in here on the inside, but yeah, there's the inside of the gatefold. A little bit of a history on Disney and some photos from the film. It has been a while since I've seen Fantasia, but I remember this being one of my favorites as a kid. On the Vista Records label, or Buena Vista label. Top 2 LP set, but the condition on this one was just flawless, so could not pass it up. Fantasia, I have a mini collection of Disney soundtracks. I have this one now, and I have Peter Pan. I want to get a few more if I can, but just know Walt Disney soundtracks, especially of the older movies, are ones that I'm kind of obsessed with. They're just really difficult to come across here in the UK. So anytime I find them, I'll pick them up. Right, we're almost there. We're almost done. Here's another one for you hip-hop people. You might not know this one as well, because it actually is the sample from Eminem, the rapper Eminem, from his I want to say from his, I was going to say his first album, but it's not his first album. It's his first major label release, which has just been which is getting reissued on vinyl in a triple LP set, but I just haven't got the money for that edition of it, so I'm gonna have to pass on it. But there's a song on, no, I apologize, I'm confusing his albums. It's from his second studio album, major label studio album, Marshall Mathers LP. The song Kill You samples the song Potion by Jacques Lazur, and I hope I pronounced, or Jacques Lazur. I think it's fusion jazz, I'm not too sure, but I know the song Potion from that song Kill You. It has the main do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, that bit. And yeah, that was a boo-boo from me. Anyways, on the CBS label, you all know that. Not the again, one of those albums I pick up just for one track. There's a lot of albums in my collection like that, but I end up liking the whole thing, so I'll let you guys know if I like it or not. But this album in particular is one much like Dollars, I've been searching for pretty much since I started collecting records, and 3.5 years into it, I find them both in about, well, through the same collection that came through the store. So happy to have those, and the Fantasia came from that collection as well. And two more that also came from the same collection that we're going to end with, and they're both soul. You can't click on one of my videos and not expect me to show any soul music. I mean, I know we had the Reflections, but these ones people may or may not know. The first one, try not to show you before it gets on the way. This is Keith Washington with Make Time for Love. Has the original price tag of $7.49 on there, which if you had to pay $7.49 for it, I don't blame you. There's a song on here that was produced by Paul Lawrence. The song Lovers After All is produced by Paul Lawrence, and if you know the name, Paul Lawrence did a lot of work with Kashif, Lilo Thomas, Evelyn Champagne King, all of these electronic R&B or more synth-driven R&B artists. This album's from 1991, so again delves into that 90s R&B a little bit more, one that I've been trying to get into a bit more. There we have yeah, the original inner sleeve with all the lyrics on it and the picture of Keith there. On the Quest Records label, yeah, I didn't know this, I really just picked it up because it had the name Paul Lawrence on it. Literally, yeah, there's certain names you come to learn about, and Paul Lawrence is one of them, so yeah, picked it up for that, and I can say I really do like this album. It's not as upbeat as Kashif or any of those artists, but it's more laid back, but yeah, he just has a phenomenal voice, and yeah, if I can put needle drops in these videos, I will, but if there's none, then just know that I really recommend checking out the song Lovers After All if you like Kashif or Evelyn Champagne King, but just know it is a lot more chilled than those artists are typically known for from their type of sound. But yeah, no, it's a great album. And this last one is one that I'm super glad to own because it's an artist I know quite well, but you never see his stuff here in the UK. Not regularly anyway. And in my 3 years, I've never seen any of his albums. And that's Eugene Wilde. This is his self-titled album. I believe is his debut. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we got a different cover here in the UK. I don't know if I like this one more or the cover that's on the American copy more. But Eugene Wilde. This is from This is from when? 80 something. Helps when there's a year on these things. But it's on the 4th and Broadway label, which is a subsidiary of Ireland, if you don't know it. I'm trying to find a year, but it's not really telling me anything. I think it's 84, but I could be wrong on that. But Eugene Wilde, he did a song back in 2012 with a group called Cool Million. The song's called Back for More, and that song reminded me of how much I love Eugene Wilde, so I had to snap this up when I was able to, and yeah, super stoked to add some Eugene Wilde to my collection, because like I said, his stuff, you never really see it. The song Chewy Chewy Cool is probably the song I know the best on this album. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. That's everything I've grabbed recently. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought. Don't forget my 200 subscriber contest is currently going on at the moment. You guys still have a few days left to get your entries in. But yeah. Don't forget to let me know when you upload those. If you're new here, thanks so much for subscribing. We are up to almost 230 subscribers now, which is crazy. And I just want to thank everybody for bearing with me. These vinyl grab videos are going to slow down a little bit because obviously I'm not picking up as much anymore, because especially at this time of year when Christmas is closing in and, you know, I'm buying for other people. I've got a few gigs coming up. And Christmas, DJing, normally my busiest time of the year, that and Halloween. But yeah, let me know what other videos you guys want to see outside of vinyl finds, because I try and switch it up here and there. But yeah, anyways, before I keep rambling on, I'm gonna sign out. So guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Peace.